few weeks ago, we assumed a Big 12 championship rematch would ensue with Oklahoma taking on Texas, but the waters have become muddied in the Big 12, and we've got Oklahoma State with a big win in Bedlam against the Sooners, puts Oklahoma in a precarious spot, needing to win out and needing to get some help now. They're a 13-point favorite at home against West Virginia. We get Steve Merrill on the line from Wager Talk and wagertalk.com, Wager Talk TV right here on YouTube. Steve, how do you size this one up with Oklahoma a 13-point favorite at home?
Yeah, I actually did a video earlier this week on Monday, Wager Talk TV, wagertalk.com, talking about this game. And I didn't have my database simulation yet because it takes several days to run the 10,000 games. But I do have that now. I got Oklahoma by 17.5. So there is some line value with Oklahoma. And I had a feeling that might be the case. So instead of looking at a side in that video earlier this week, I recommended the over because I am concerned about a letdown for Oklahoma in this game. Because it was their second loss of the season. That's what we call the bubble burst. It used to be the one loss. Now it's two because you can still kind of get in with one loss. Back-to-back losses, too, make it worse. And then on top of that, as you mentioned, it was a rival game against Oklahoma State as a road favorite. So even though there is some line value with Oklahoma, I really don't know if I can trust them here in this spot. But if there is a letdown or if they come a little bit flat or fatigued, I think that'll show on the defensive side of the ball. And I definitely like the over in this game. And one of the reasons is because West Virginia's playing much better offensively than they did the first month of the season. Back in September, they were struggling to get over 20 in a lot of games. The last 4 games since, though, they have now gone over 3 of their last 4. They've put up 34 points or more in every game, including 37 or more in 3 of the 4. And the only game that stayed under the last 4 was the BYU game last week, and that's because BYU only scored 7 points. But West Virginia gave up 28 or more in the 3 games prior. So I think both teams can move the ball here. And I also liked the over last week in the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game, and I know it didn't get there. It was around 62, landed 51. But once again, both teams moved the ball extremely well, 450-plus yards each. And I think this Oklahoma defense maybe isn't quite as good as everyone thought when they step up in class. Oklahoma State definitely exposed them a little bit last week. I think West Virginia can do the same. So instead of looking at the side, let's look at the total here. I think there is some value with the over on this game. And it's a late game. It kicks off at 7 Eastern Saturday night. So you have plenty of time to find the best number. Currently midweek here, checking the Wager Talk Live odds screen, seeing mostly 58s. Did see a drop to 57, so we'll have to check the weather out there. But once again, I think there's some value over 58 in this game.
Wager Talk TV and wagertalk.com are the places to catch Steve's complete work with the NBA underway, college basketball, the NFL, of course, in addition to college football. And look at that on the banner. That is not a typo. We keep track of that every week, and Steve churned out another win last week to move on to 18-5. What is that? Well, that's the under-the-radar selection that Steve gets us here at the Voice of College Football exclusively. So become a main channel member on YouTube. It's only $3 a month, or on patreon.com/MarkRogersTV to get my picks. But I can't compare to this. But 18-5 from Steve under the radar selection each and every week. And we'll be looking forward to finding out what that is a little bit later here at the Voice of College Football. Steve, appreciate you stopping by as always.
Thanks, Mark.